This is our shore excursion on AMALEA. We're going to do Budapest today. Today is the 4th of August 2024. It's about 9 a.m. Kate's doing the castle walk. And we're going to just do the Budapest tour, which is mainly by bus. And it's, I believe, 2 to 3 hours. We're the yellow tour.
Leave the bus, please stay together, and later on we'll be already up in the Castle District area. I will show you exactly where we are going to meet, and then all together we are coming back to the bus. I would like to ask you, please fasten your seat belts. The kids already did it, thank you very much. This is the same rule here in Hungary, just to use the seat belts all the time. So, before we arrive to the most beautiful and the oldest part of the city, I have had a little time just to introduce you Budapest as my home city. This is the capital of Hungary. This is the biggest city in Hungary, and it became the capital already from the 13th century. You know, we have got 1.7 million people here. It means that this is the biggest city already from the 13th century, we can say. This was the very first time when the first kings of Hungary decided to have a nice palace up on the top of the Castle District area, and this will be the area that we are going to explore together this morning. The weather couldn't be nicer like this morning, because actually in the last few weeks we have got really a heat record. It was very, very warm, and today it's supposed to be like 90 Fahrenheit, which is quite comfortable, I think. And we have got a great time up in the Castle District area. You know, this is a kind of a walking tour as well, because you know the area that we are going to visit is under the protection of the historical monument. It means it's not allowed to use big buses or not even minivans or any cars up there, so therefore we have to walk. A part of this walking tour we are going to use elevator as well, but then it comes some more steps, and then we are going to take a little walk on the very flat little street. So I guess it will be quite a challenge just to be in the very old part of the city, but we already say we are very, very proud of it, but we still have those lovely buildings. So Budapest is a very special city, divided by the Danube River into 2 different parts. The flat part, where we are driving now, we call it Pest. The other side, what we are going to see very soon, calls Buda. 150 years ago we decided to have only one city. We just put together the 2 names, Buda and Pest, and this is how we created a new name for our capital. But Buda was already the most important city, as I mentioned, from the 13th century, as our royal family decided to move here from the former capital, that was also nearby the riverside, called Esztergom. But the problem was with the first capital, it was completely destroyed by the Mongolians, the Tatars. You know, they arrived here in the middle of the 13th century, and it was Genghis Khan, actually, who visited us. He was not really invited, but he came with about 200,000 soldiers. So this was the main reason why our king decided to establish a new capital. So now we are already one of our bridge. From here I can show you the last bridge of the city, if you still keep looking to the left, please, with the red lamp poles. Behind the bridge you can see a big stadium. This is a big athletical stadium, because last year we organized the World Championship of Athletics. To the right you can have a little bit overview of the city already. First of all, the first hill, that is just on your right hand side, this is the Gellért Hill. On the top, normally we have got our Statue of Liberty, but just a few weeks ago they decided to renew the statue, so unfortunately Our Lady, she's a symbol of the peace, you know, is taken away, so we can't see her. But just to know that this is a very important symbol of the city, the Statue of Liberty. And the other symbol is the oldest bridge, what has got the name Chain Bridge. We are going to see it from from a distance. So the chain bridge is another kind of a symbol, just to be the first bridge of the city. So now we just arrived to the hilly part, but what we can see right now, this is just a part of the oldest and the biggest university of Budapest. This is the Technical University. Altogether, we have got 28 universities and colleges, and of course we have got quite a lot of students. 80% they are Hungarians, and only 20% comes from foreign countries. Most of them coming to study in the technical university or in the medical university. So here we can see just the modern part of the university. I'm going to show you the two oldest part, what was actually built in the middle of the 18th century. When you are looking back to the right, where your ship is docking, very close to the Green Bridge, you can see a very special building. Actually, this was where we just get on the bus nearby. It looks like a big fish. You see, this is a very special shape, and we just call it the big whale because it looks like a big whale. And this is a new entertainment center, but we can use for conferences. We have got also a theater area on the first floor. And now let me show you the two oldest buildings of the Technical University, because here you can see the gorgeous ceramic tiles. They were recently renewed, but originally they were also used the same color and the same type of ceramics. It's a very special material. It can stand all the weather circumstances, so they are still produce those tiles, and also the same manufacturer called Zsolnai, they produce beautiful porcelain. And as soon as we are going to arrive close to the green colored bridge, we have got another important bridge just on your right hand side. This is the second oldest bridge of the city, called Liberty Bridge. It's not accidentally, because normally we have got the Liberty statue on the top, and just at the legs of the hill there is the Liberty Bridge. And here comes a huge white building with some Moorish spires and Moorish domes. This is a very old luxury hotel called Gellert, G-E-L-L-E-R-T, Gellert. It was built more than 100 years ago, and by the time when it was opened, it was a very luxury hotel, beautiful view towards to the river, gorgeous rooms, you know, with lovely balconies. So it was really a place for the most famous people who just came to visit Budapest. A lot of them were famous writers, composers, actors, actresses, you know. So I just would like to mention two names, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. They had here spending their honeymoon, you know, in this lovely hotel. 2 years ago they just decided to close down because they just started to renew it. But at the side part of the building there is a little side street. There is the main entrance to the spa. The spa is still works, and it's one of the most beautiful spa of the city. And here in the rocks, you can see an entrance to the rock chapel. It's kind of a church, you know, a small chapel in the rock, and they have got services every day, and it can be visited, of course. And this is quite close to your ship. If somebody, I don't know how much time do you have in the afternoon. I'm afraid not too much usually. But anyhow, just to know that this is the old chapel in the rocks, and we call it the rock chapel. And now if we're looking back towards to the right hand side, towards to the river, we can see a nice riverside with the international pier. As can be seen, there are some more big cruising ships are here in the city, because, you know, this is a very special location for our cruising ships, because you are absolutely in the downtown area. So it's very easy to reach the most famous pedestrian street, the Váci utca, from your ship. It actually goes 2 blocks away from here, and it goes parallel with the river. I already mentioned the thermal spa. You know, Budapest is a famous city having quite a lot of hot springs, and we can use this very special water in our spas, and therefore we have got quite a lot of famous old spas that still in use. Here comes another spa building. The first part with a brand new wing with a jacuzzi on the top It was just recently enlarged, added this part to the old building. The name of the spa is Rudas, and on the very end of the building you can find a very old section that was built by the Turks, because we were not only occupied by the Tatars, but also the Turks occupied us, and they stayed here for 150 years. They only left at the end of the 17th century, but meanwhile they were here. They built several old hammams, they call it. The old spa that was built by the Turks can be seen just the dome. If you look, keep looking to the left, please, you can see a very old dome, with the little holes on the top. And this was built by the Turks in the 16th century. So this is still the part of the spa that can be used every day, because all the spas are opened every day from 6 or from 7 till 7 in the evening. So now we are going to approach to the next bridge, but is from here not too close, but I'm going to show you it from a nice lookout building, the Fisherman's Bastion. So this is the oldest bridge of the city, the Chain Bridge, that we can see a little bit to the right. So, because we are on the Buda side, you can see quite a lot of nice residential areas, lovely parks, lovely trees all around. Those trees are mostly the horse chestnut trees. You can see already the fresh chestnuts coming. They are not eatable, but we also have got sweet chestnut, and we have got a very special dessert, what we call the chestnut puree. We put quite a lot of whipped cream on the top, and this is really a lovely dessert. So in front of us you can see already a huge building. This is already the former palace building. Unfortunately, it was very badly damaged during the Second World War, so nowadays there are several museums inside. And it doesn't work anymore like a palace, because we lost all the furniture, paintings, everything that was inside. Though we have got quite a lot of old photographs that we will see on the way, putting on the fence when they just started to renew several parts of the building itself. And they have got quite a lot of new projects. You will see we have got huge brand new buildings that they decided to replace those huge buildings that we lost because of the war, the Second World War. So very soon we are going to stop, and from here we are going to take this orientation walking tour. On the way I'm going to use my transmitter, and I also would like to ask you to switch on your quiet voices. It will be channel number 10. Channel number 10, please.